All right, guys, we are on the heels of UFC 319, and I appreciate this next man for joining me during, a time that, isn't the highest of highs, but the way that him and his team have handled this loss at UFC 319 is admirable. He now joins me, Coach Morne Visser. Thanks for joining me a day after UFC 319, man. I'd ask how you're doing, but obviously, mood's not as high as it was going to be, as it was planned to be.
Yeah, obviously it's hard to take like a big loss like this on the jaw. But lessons learned. I think we could have done a lot better, but I also think the ref should have done better. But you know what it's like when you lose or something doesn't go your way, you always want to blame somebody else. But I do think the refs should have just made that fight a lot more live, or a little bit more live.
What do you mean by the refs? Sorry, go on, Morne. Do you mean that you wanted to see things to be stood up more? Break that down for me.
So I don't know if you. There was a stats afterwards of Khamzat landing like 570 shots or 550 shots, and only 37 of them were significant. So he just did enough to, he obviously controlled positions very, very well. And he just did enough to keep the ref not letting the fight stand up. But I think when shit goes that slow for 20 seconds, first warning, second warning, 5 seconds later, third, 5 seconds later, stand the fight up, man. So that fight was smothered with boringness. And yes, we are guilty for making it boring as well. If I just needed an extra minute at the end there. But yeah, I think the fight was smothered by a lot of boringness. I don't think the crowd was happy. I remember when we walked in, the crowd was booing DDP, and like 3 minutes into the fight, they were all booing Khamzat for just holding Dricus down. So, but fuck, man, he does a good job with that. He's very good at his wrestling. So yeah, hats off to him.
Yeah, it's tough as well, right? Because when you're in those dominating positions, I'm just not sure if you could really, I don't know if you could really be stood up. Let me ask you this: in between the rounds, after the first round and the second round, what were you guys thinking? Are there any adjustments that you were trying to make? Because we couldn't really hear what you were saying to Dricus in between the rounds.
So after the first round, the very first thing I asked Dricus was he okay? Wasn't tired. Obviously, with trying to fight somebody who wrestles that hard, your arms pump up quickly. He was 100% okay, and we actually laughed about it, me and him in the corner, because I said to him, "Okay, this is the best he's got. That he just showed us what he can do, and he's going to keep on trying to do that." And I just didn't think that he will try to do that for 5 rounds. So we were communicating between the rounds. I think after the third, I said to Dricus, "Okay, we are 3 down now. Do you want to take him down?" And he said to me, "Coach, he's too wet, too slippery." And look, we've learned a lot. Lot to go back to. I've been asked, do you want to do a rematch? I said, absolutely not. Obviously, we would like to fight him very soon again, but there's no way I'll take a rematch with us being a little bit behind in our Russian style of wrestling. That is what it is, nothing else. He just knows how to control you on the floor. I mean, if you look at when Dricus punched him, he just wobbled. When Dricus kicked him, he wobbled. That's why I went straight for shooting. And when you look at submission attempts and almost landed, was done by Dricus, not by Khamzat. Khamzat was doing one thing. that's keeping the fight on the floor and make sure that the ref doesn't stand it up. That's all he did, nothing else. So we had more submission attempts and almost success. Obviously the stand-up, we dominated him. I don't even think there was 2 minutes of stand-up. But yeah, so we've got to go back to the drawing board soon. There's a lot of things happening in the middleweight division now. I believe Khamzat wants to fight in, October in Abu Dhabi. And I think if the UFC pulls that off, it will most probably be Hernandez or Derrida. And if not, I think Hernandez and Derrida will fight it out, and Imamov and Barradia will fight it out. And between the four of them, there'll be another number one contender. In the meantime, we've got to fix our shit ASAP. And I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. And where to do it. It's a big change for us, a big move. We're going to have to make a big move here to fix things. But, I mean, if we had an extra minute, that fight would have been ours. So it is what it is, man. Sad.
Yeah, the fight game is crazy, man. Let me ask you this. So did the UFC ask you guys about an immediate rematch? Is that what you mean? Someone asked you if you guys were interested?
No, everybody asked me afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
We're going to ask for it. We deserve it. I said, no, man, you don't deserve a rematch after you've been dominated that badly on the floor. If it was a close call, close fight, yeah, maybe. But even if they did ask me, and it wasn't close at all, we need to work on, so we've practiced everything except a crucifix. And there's this a way that he trapped the arm very high, almost trapped the bicep, tricep, and the shoulder with that crucifix. So it feels like you've got movement, but so you can give the one arm up to roll the other one out, or roll in and back out, but he just doesn't allow it. He's just so tight with it. Plus he stalled, so he really opened Dricus up. And then all those little punches didn't mean a lot, but obviously, like I said, meant a lot or enough for the ref to keep the fight down. So, but no, I won't take a rematch. A few things need to happen for us. Dricus didn't take any damage. Stitches on his jaw, a couple of stitches on his jaw, but nothing serious. 570 bee stings, that's what it was. Really no punishment. It's sad to lose like that. I would have not mind if it was a proper brawl, and then you lose with unanimously when there was a proper brawl. There was nothing.
It's crazy because one day you guys are on top of the world, right? And now you're dealing with some negativity from fans, and this kind of fight where you mentioned it, you would have preferred for it to maybe go a different way. Mentally, how is Dricus doing? Because mentally, that is one of his strengths, right? He had a great deal of, he handled the loss very respectfully. He showed a lot of, the way that he spoke about after the fight. He was very positive. He seemed like he understood what went wrong. Mentally, what is the road to sort of coming back for Dricus after this loss? Because we've seen some champions struggle to come back after losses like this. For those people that think that this might be it for Dricus, what is your message to them?
This is really personal for Dricus and me. We are very possibly the worst losers. And I always ask people when they want to join my team, even guys from abroad, when they want to come and train in my gym, I ask them, how do you feel about losing? And when they say stupid things like, it happens, so you've got to take it when it comes your way, and you've got to be a good loser. I say, sorry, man, this gym is not for you. I fucking hate losing, and Dricus hates losing. So his mindset is just, we're getting back. We're getting back. As soon as you won't even realize, he's going to take a week off, and we've got big plans. I've started already last night and this morning with our next big move, our plans to change and fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, my head, Dricus' head is, we're taking the belt back. That's it. I'm not gonna. That belt comes back to us because, and I don't want to look. It's MMA. You've got to be, if you want to be the greatest in a weight division, the best in a weight division, you've got to be able to be the best grappler, be the best wrestler, all the different wrestling styles, all the different stand-up styles, all the different grappling styles. You've got to be the best at it. And last night we were not the best on that style of wrestling. So our wrestling is good, but not for that. So not even close good enough for that. So I know exactly what to do. Already on the plan of fixing it. So there's nothing else. Dricus wants his belt back more than he wanted to get the belt in the first time. That's his mindset.
Hey guys, I just want to take a moment to talk about my new sponsor, IP VANISH. IP VANISH is one of the best VPNs out there that you can get. But what about this? Because you guys are a Submission Radio listener and watcher, you guys can get up to 83% off. That's right, 83% off if you subscribe now. That's a plan that's starting at $2.19 per month. That's crazy. IP VANISH offers some of the best VPN plans out there. It's super fast and reliable. And under that 2-year, $2.19 a month offer that you guys get the 83% off on, you get a 3 gig eSIM data gift as well, which is going to be very, very handy for you. IP VANISH is truly unlimited. It's blazing fast. Of course, there's no logs, so you can stay secure. Advanced encryption. I mean, these guys have it all sorted. Right now, there is nothing more important than having a VPN that you can trust. And IP VANISH does that for you at a very, very low and competitive rate. Watch all your favorite TV shows. Watch all your favorite sports channels. Watch all your best things around the world with IP VANISH. Don't forget, you can get cheaper flights, cheaper products, better deals if you have your IP VPN, IP VANISH VPN turned on. IP VANISH is really a must-have for everybody out there. Again, I just want to show you this exclusive deal. You get 83% off if you click the link below. That's 83% off. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee exclusive deal right there. Give IP VANISH a try. $2.19 a month. I know some of you guys are paying $20, $30 a month for your VPN, or you signed up to a dodgy VPN that steals all your information and passes it on to dodgy people out there. IP VANISH has you sorted. Sign on today. Click the link description below. And now, back to the interview. I know there's going to be people in the comment section that are going to be like negative towards you or the team because they're going to say, well, why didn't they do any wrestling going into this? But just explain it to the people out there. This was a different kind of wrestling you guys weren't preparing for, but you still had great wrestlers in the training room. Like you guys were still working the wrestling. It was just a different sort of version of wrestling that Khamzat showed, that potentially maybe that crucifix position and some other stuff that you guys weren't prepared for. Sort of break it down for all the naysayers out there who might be criticizing yourself or the team for not preparing for this kind of wrestling.
So we've really put a big effort into getting the right wrestlers, Russian wrestlers in from around the world. And in our teammate, Hugo from France, who's also a good grappler, wrestler, and in all my guys in my gym to come and help to fix our wrestling. And, well, not fix it, to help with Khamzat's style of wrestling. And the biggest problem is when you've got 10 guys in your weight division, your size, bigger, with good wrestling, and we've learned from a very famous Russian, I don't want to mention his name now, exactly how to handle Khamzat. So we've put the effort in, traveled, learned from the guy, got a few guys in got my guys to understand what we want to do with Khamzat and how we need to get out. But this is where the problem kicked in. Dricus this whole camp, I would put Dricus in on wrestling days, and we had a lot more wrestling days than stand-up days because we knew that was what Khamzat was going to do. So I would put Dricus in the worst possible position, full rear naked, legs locked, everything. Worst scenario. Then I would say go, and Dricus took between 15 and 30 seconds to get out of any of those positions, and then we would start over. Next bad position, next bad position, next bad position, next bad, every bad position on the wall, in the middle of the mat, and max 30 seconds, Dricus would get out, reverse and control position. Okay? The difference is with Khamzat is he holds you so tight that it's going to take another type of preparation. He holds you so tight and he's so in control of what he does. It's going to take for me to find guys that can stay in there for the first try, the second try, the third try, and the fourth try, for Dricus to learn how to get out from that. So in other words, stay deep in the mud and get out the fourth time or the fifth time and reset and try again and try again and try again and try again. So this was absolutely new territory for us. We trained and got it right for Dricus to get out every time within 30 seconds, reverse position, control position. And with this guy, I mean, he keeps you there for 2-3 minutes. And I'm going to have to, well, I'm already busy with, get guys that does it like Khamzat do or better, where Dricus is going to have to work for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exchanges to get out, but does not stop. Khamzat, we've tried, and if you relook at the fight, Dricus tried once, got stopped. Tried once, maybe twice, got stopped. Reset, try again. Reset, try again. We need a lot more than that. We need 4, 5, 6 times, 3, 4, 5 times, 3, 4, 5 times. We need to get the guy who's on your back, Khamzat, to work a lot harder to keep you down. And I mean, how do you learn that? You can only learn that from losing like we did. When we trained for it, we had just success. So I thought we were ready. We had success. Nobody could guillotine. I mean, Khamzat tried. Nobody could guillotine or dodge or rear naked, anything, Dricus. I would put all those submissions fully on, and he would get out, reverse it, control it. And Khamzat tried last night. Never got one of those submissions on, not one, not even close. And but what he did so well was he stayed on Dricus like a fucking blanket. So I'm looking for blankets. I'm looking for guys, a lot of blankets around the world that's going to help us to get those blankets off us. So I realized and I recognize the mistakes. There's no way I would like to fight that guy this year still again. Early next year. There's obviously a lot of things happening in the middleweight division, but early next year and back for the belt. That's what we want, nothing else. I'm not going to let Dricus just fight and be a ranked fighter. Ranked fighters are for other guys, not for us. We want the belt back.
Yeah, because people are saying RDR is the next fight for you guys. You wouldn't be interested in a potential contender if you had to fight a contender next?
Look, I'll rather, I'll be honest with you, instead of spending time to prepare for going to another fight camp to prepare for RDR, I would rather spend that time to fix the problem that we've got and then go into a camp. So I won't just take a fight because fights are available. I want to fix this problem. because we're going to face Khamzat and I want to destroy him this time. And I know it sounds easy, man. It sounds so easy. If you can just get that guy not to take you down, or stuff his takedowns and stand back up and just punish him. But he also picked up his wrestling game. So no RDR for us right now. Now I'd rather spend the time in fixing this problem than running back into the cage, take another fight. That doesn't make sense for us now, for me in any case.
Yeah. Give me the timeline. How much time ideally would you like to prepare Dricus and work on this aspect of his game?
So he's obviously going to take a week off, maybe 2 weeks max. So that gives us, call it end of August. Then I need 12 to 16 weeks, which is like 4 months, 3 to 4 months, to sort this problem out. I don't need fitness. I don't need strength. I don't need conditioning. I don't need to fix his stand-up. I just need to fix this problem. And it's a fixable problem. So I need about 12 to 16 weeks to fix the problem and then go back into camp immediately, a 12-week fight camp. So we'll be back early next year.
Do you think that Khamzat will still be champion by the time you guys come back? People think it's going to be Anthony Hernandez and Khamzat next. If it is Anthony Hernandez, do you believe Khamzat is still champion by the time you guys are ready to return?
Well, Hernandez did show a massive game with his last fight. But I just think Khamzat will just do the same thing. It'll be sad if we can't fix our problem, which we're going to work on now, which will work for whatever we need to do in the future. So it's not going to be only a problem that we're trying to fix for Khamzat, but we would like to fight Khamzat for that belt again. But Hernandez has got a good game on him. At this stage, I think he's the biggest threat there. So if they do that fight in October, I think Hernandez stands a very, very good chance to take the belt. So a lot of mix-ups in the division right now. I mean, shuffling the top 5, top 6 now is just major. I don't even know what's going to happen to us right after this fight, where we in the rank.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. So much happening in the next couple of months. So would you say that this is the most you and Dricus have been motivated in quite some time? Like, I get a feeling from you and him are on the same page and you guys just can't wait to get back in the gym and get into it.
Well, I've actually started this morning. I only got into bed this morning at like 4 o'clock, but I was up with messages and voice calls and WhatsApps all over the world to the right people. I know who the right people are, and the right people are willing to help us 100% to beat Khamzat. So all I needed there, yes, go ahead. I'm telling you, I'm very negative. I'm a very bad loser, and so is Dricus. And this is his life. I mean, this is not something, he doesn't want to do anything else but this. So I don't want to say if the UFC doesn't allow us to go after this loss for the belt again, we'll definitely have a much more positive interview after the next fight, before and obviously after. And then obviously maybe the belt again. But we are super, super, super positive. And I must be honest with you, it sounds weird. How do you take a beating like that and you're positive, but you also feel like very energetic about what our next move is? I feel very positive, plus excited, because now we realize there's something in our arsenal that we need to fix. Became world champion with what he had. lost his belt with what he didn't have. So we'll just go and fix that thing, and we'll be back at being champions.
That's a real championship mindset right there. Morne, I can't wait to see you guys get back into it. I can't wait to see what happens next. I appreciate your time. What's your message out there for everybody? I guess it's kind of like a crazy morning for MMA fans, right? People didn't expect that. It was a wild night at the office. There's a lot of support out there. There's also a lot of people who are a bit disappointed. There are people out there who are a bit shocked. What's your message to all the fans out there as we wrap up?
Look, just before I tell you what my message would be is, as we walked in the fight onto the cage last night, Dricus was booed very badly. And 3 minutes into the fight, the booers were booing Khamzat for not wanting to fight. So I really hope that whoever he fights next gets him to fight, stand up, or have a proper role, mix-up of proper MMA, because that's what the sport is. My message is, watch this space, guys. You've just maybe met the worst losers ever in your life, me and Dricus. And I'm not sleeping until we've got that belt back. I know everybody's laughing and say, yeah, Dricus was exposed. I'm a bad loser. Dricus is a bad loser. It's going to take whatever it takes for us to get back that belt back ASAP. It's not going to be a long story. One fight and the belt. That's us back in the belt. So to all those naysayers and all the guys who support blanket style MMA, blanket wrestling, we in the real fight game, and we'll be back again and surprise you with just taking that belt back again.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining me. I know it's been a crazy 24 hours for you. I look forward, hopefully, let's have a chat, into the process. I'd love to get an update. And I know you still have a lot of fans out there that appreciate everything you guys are doing. So thank you so much. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. There he is, Coach Morne Visser. Thank you so much for joining me here on Submission Radio.
Thank you, guys.